Rail. Defective rail remedial actions for the rail defect present to the table 7.1. The rail defects have been identified and the remedial action have not been completed. The operation restriction in table 1 shall apply to the appendix B provided the brief description of the common rail defects may be observed in the track. A bolt hole crack, and these are the descriptions. Remedial actions are allowed at 10 miles. Operating speed is 10 miles. Broken base 5 miles an hour, all allowed except for your remedial actions of crop defects. Not allowed to apply. No, not allowed joint bars. Basically, this is a car. Basically, here's a table of real defects, operating restriction, remedial actions. You have your corrosion, your grate bar, complete broken. Multiple defects. Any individual railway having two or more features of fracture type defects in 7.1, whether the same, different, or the removed, replaced worn rails are the respective being worn more than allowance provided in Table 1, where the measurements shall be taken in the center at each end of the rail, but not more than 1 foot more than the end of the joint bar. Rail wear measure shall consist of vertical head wear measures. You measure vertical head wear measurement and side wear measurements shown in Figure 7.1 of the C1 present in tables and detailed prior properties of various rail sections. This table and it may be used as an assistant identification rail section assessment amount of the rail wear. The vertical rail wear loss of height of 5/8 of an inch on the side wear of the tie plate. The base corrosion of the rail shall be removed from the track if the base is corroded more than 1/4 of an inch, as shown in Figure 7.2. A and B must be at least 1/4 of an inch, and if the base of the rail is corroded from the point of more than 1/4 of an inch allowed for the rail must be removed from the double shoulder and tie plate and single shoulder of the tie plate. You see the A and B, 1/4 of an inch. End of the battered rail and battered measured 1/2 inch better from the rail end of the 18-inch straight edge laid only on the rail being measured as shown in Figure 7.3. Table 7.1 presents limits of remedial action for end batters. End batter measurements of 18 inches of the end batter of the rail. Running surface with damage. Rail running surface damages such as deep engine burns, dents, and measured midpoints that have 18 inches straight edge laid on the railhead over the defects present. The limits and remedial actions of the rail surface damage. Rail maintenance of rail. New rail that used in maintenance of the Army Air Force tracks shall be requirements specified in the area manual for the railway engineering. Chapter 4. The internal defects inspection and continuous internal rail defect inspection shall be performed at least once every 3 to 6 years. Categories of rail A and B tracks. The internal rail defection inspection shall be conducted using ultrasound inspection techniques. Table 7.2 presents the recommendation frequency of the rail defects inspections. Annual day-to-day traffic of the car movements 1 million gross tons or more, greater than 7,200 cars movements per year. 3 years is an inspection frequency of 3 years, a 3-year MGT, and whichever is less. 0.50 to 0.99 MGT to 72,000 car movements per year. 5 years of MGT, whichever is less. Less than 0.5 or less than 3,600 cars movements per year. 6 years or after the year of 6 years or after a rail break. Torch cut. Rails shall be flamed in a manner that includes the cropping of the rail end of the burning of the bolt holes, trimming in the mismatched ends of the rails shall be cut and use the rail saw, otherwise appropriate cutting tool. Short tail rail less than 13 feet in length and shall not be installed in the track. 7.3. The light rail rails is defined railway line less than 90-pound yards. Research has shown in the light weight of the rail may be not suitable for the use of track and subjected to the heavy weight wheel loads. Rail weights of the 70-pound yard and less should be replaced in the rail. Experienced guards loads of more than 50 tons of 2,500 pounds per axle. Railway 75 to 85 pounds per yard adequately depending upon the support or the conditions of elevation, stress, and analysis necessary to determine the accuracy of the railway height weights. The rail not adequate to support the desired wheels loads and should be replaced. The existence of a lightweight rail categories A and B should be considered while planning the major repair of the rehabilitation projects. Chapter 8 Turnouts.